I wonder if the meeting is being recorded or not.
It is. It just said this meeting is being
I'm
recorded.
being sarcastic.
Oh,
Okay. Well, thank
well,
you for
good
tuning.
afternoon.
And thank you for tuning in to Purposely Playing Life Podcast Cafe. I'm here with
Awesome.
my BFF, Anastasia Preston. Hey. And we're talking about one of my favorite first ladies and most beautiful people,
Yes.
Michelle
Yes.
Obama. And if you notice today, I look a little different. I have my Michelle Obama wig on today. I was trying to rock it.
We
So I
got our
hope.
Michelle. We got our Michelle Obamas on. We got our lips done.
You can't talk about Michelle Obama and not get yourself in some type of way, just to feel good about
True.
yourself and just uplift. You have to be, this is her picture. So you just have to get yourself together, look in some type of way. But we just wanted to talk about this first chapter and just I like this book because she gets personal. Because you think about a first lady, anytime you think about any first lady, you think about prim and proper and just this and this, but you don't really think about what other people have to go through to get to where what it looks like on the outside of perfection. So, for me, it was just like an eye-opening, awakening experience just to read this book and talking about just the first chapter. Um, my favorite thing was just her aunt and Aunt Ruby, and just thinking about how every woman, every sister circle genuinely needs an Aunt Ruby. Um, first,
Yeah.
before I start going into too far, what did you think about that first chapter? I don't want to go too far, too fast.
I love just the realness.
Yes.
When she realized, I'm starting my life now after these 8 years, or am I continuing my life? I don't have to ask permission to open the window. I'm here by myself and I can relax. I'm making a piece of toast with melted cheese,
Yes.
without somebody handing her a platter, and just the fact of her saying, I was at a point where I realized, wow, I'm either continuing my life or I'm just starting my life,
Yes.
after all of these things. And it was kind of what I was saying earlier, before recording, how when I was looking through my memories and my photo albums and the pictures of people and family and letters that I'd written and still have of friends who've written me. I was a writer and I would write letters and send them in the mail. And my friends and family would write me back. And I'm like, wow, reading over those things, life just happens and it continues on until you pause and take a look back at
Yeah.
everything. And that's what she's doing. She's looking back at everything and like, wow, oh my goodness. It would just set your heart on fire, just
Yes.
being able to investigate your life and realize where you are in it.
I like how you said that, and just looking back at different things makes you, I guess, just more grateful to where you had to come from, and just and like you said, for her, hers is her awakening moments of just okay, I have always been an intelligent woman. I've always had a good ground education from just talking about her experiences as a child all the way up to that woman that she is becoming. But it's just, yeah, that's I can't say anything, but she's just a deep individual all the way around. I had
And
some,
yeah, she was
I had,
telling us, remembrances and things that she was doing at the age of 4 and how she
right,
felt. I mean, there's not every 4-year-old who's ready to start playing the piano and, that sort of thing. But there are different opportunities that she may have been afforded and provided that, some of us may not have. And so maybe, there's no way we could have been able to be ready if we weren't prepared. There were some things that she was prepared for.
right, that some, like you said, like some people would not have been ready for that. But I just go back to her Aunt Ruby. I wonder how things would have been different in her life had Aunt Ruby not been a character in her life, because she was such a
Yeah.
persistent character in her life, from just waking up and knowing she was going to hear that noise, that music every day, And she said, she always said the music wasn't something that it wasn't a bad thing. It was just something that was always present. She didn't really,
Yeah.
she didn't even really, like this music until she was able to start those lessons on her own and wanted to do. And it's funny about, um, and I thought about just me and just women in general. We are so ready to start something, and sometimes we're not even prepared. Like you said just now, like we're ready to start it, but you're not prepared for it, for what the outcome is going to be
Yeah.
and how to continue it. I like I don't want to jump too fast, but I really like the end of this chapter. It was something that just sparked me at the end when she was so ready to start those lessons from Aunt Ruby. She was like, Aunt Ruby, I can do this. I can go to the next one. I can do this. And then when Aunt Ruby gave her a chance at the end of this one, she realizes that, oh goodness, I can't even remember how to start, which key to press to start so other people can listen to my music. I'm not even ready. She was so focused on the audience. She's so focused on the people looking around her that she couldn't prepare herself for the things that she was getting ready to play, the music that was supposed to, getting ready to, get into line. So I just thought that was something, just to think about that. Sometimes we're so ready to start something, but we're not mentally prepared. But I was happy to hear Aunt Ruby, even though she had her depicted as this evil character or this, character that was against her. And it's
The
funny
enemy.
how
She
the
really was.
enemy, she thought she was really the enemy. And Daniel opening the door and
And
closing it.
she was a support for her.
She was. And that's so funny that when people challenge us as women, we're so ready to dismiss them as the enemy. You need someone that's going to
Yeah.
challenge you. I don't need a yes man.
Yeah.
I don't need someone that's always like, girl, yes, yeah, yeah. No, I need somebody. That's why you my best friend, because I want you to know. Mm-mm. No, that's not working. And you're quick to give me my love, and you're quick to tell me in a loving way. And I love that at the end of this chapter, like, and Ruby, where, when Michelle got stuck on that key and just couldn't remember, that's when Ruby came to her rescue without even hesitation, and loved on her, embraced her, and didn't just tell her what key to press. She put her hand over her hand and put, to position her in that right spot. But just thinking about those things, life, life. But
Hold on a second. Hold on. Abby, did you get stung or not? I'm doing a show. Okay, sweetie, I'm doing a recording, babe, and I know you're just playing. Okay, sweetie, get up, honey. Get you some water, Abby. So yeah, the way that I've seen, my perspective on, that scene in the story was the fact that she was so used to playing the rickety raggedy, the keys looking like mitts and teeth. And so she was in an environment where, yeah, the environment that she was used to, the middle C, the starting point, had a map. It was a map for her. So she immediately could see the chip in the middle C, and she knew automatically where to start. But now, taken out of, stop it, taken out of the environment, put in a perfect world here, that middle C is not chipped. And so she knew the song by heart.
Yes.
But because she was used to having a roadmap for where the C was, and now there's no longer a roadmap, it took her out of her element.
And I think that's how, as women, sometimes. Yep. You're right. Sometimes as women, we're so used to traveling down, one road map. We're so used to looking at things in a broken path and a broken way, that when things are actually cleared out of our way, it's like, what am I doing now? Like, how do I fix this? How do I? And you don't realize, like, it's already fixed. You don't have to look at everything broken. Sometimes you have to look at things.
Yeah.
When God takes those elements out of your life, when He fixes things, sometimes you have to prepare yourself for something better. That's how the different mindset. And just thinking about this whole
Yeah.
chapter, this, like I said, Aunt Ruby, I love her, because again, if you don't have someone that is challenging your life and challenging you to aspire and go to different goals, that you don't have the right people in your life. Like I just admire her because just thinking about like her mom, even the character of her mom compared to Aunt Ruby. In the story, just her mom was kind of prim and proper, and she liked sarcasm, and then and Ruby was not going for that. Ruby reminds me of an AK, just in the way that she was with her. She wanted her not to be perfect, but she wanted her to reach her perfection in herself, if that makes sense. But just
Yeah.
you want somebody to have you reach those goals. Sorry, it's a bee out here. Um, but you want somebody to help you reach those goals in life. So I mean, I love this first
Yeah.
chapter. I can't say enough about it. I'm hoping that this will
Yeah.
inspire more people
Great
to read this
introduction.
book. Yes, yes.
Now, with the way that her mother was, concerning Aunt Ruby, her mother, it seemed her mother and father helped to round her personality out by allowing her
Exactly.
to bump heads with Aunt Ruby. It allowed her to hone in on her lawyer skills.
Mm.
And that's an awesome thing that parents do. You know, when your parents and your people see what you're good at and allow you and push you to do and practice those things. Oh no, baby. Like for me, in the third grade, I had no idea that I was going to be a teacher. But guess who seen and called it out immediately? My grandfather, who could not read or write, left school when he was in 8th grade. At that time in if he was born in like the 1940s, then maybe he left out of school before 1960. So this is the 50s that he's working. And by the time I came along in 1976, he was just working a regular job. And he said, when you grow up, I want you to teach me how to read and write.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that I was going to be a teacher. But dutiful me, yes, Grandpa, okay, Grandpa. And think when our parents, relatives see those things in us and allow us to practice it and do it, that helps well round us as well. So that's what her mother and father was allowing her to do, butt heads with her aunt so that she could hone in and learn her skill.
And I think that's like one of the most important gifts that you can give your child. I was just thinking about, I'm always bringing other things and other factors back into our conversations too. And just honing back in on, just those skills that parents do, they want you to have. And that was an important skill. They already saw that in her, just like your grandfather saw that in you. It's just funny how, parents have that position for you. And even her parents, they were so into music. Her mom, like I think it was the mom or dad, like Ella Fitzgerald, but just the music that they love, Stevie Wonder.
Grandfather was her
Oh, right,
grandfather records at the house, and he had a
right,
whole
right.
place for her favorite records where she could touch and explore everything in his house. Aunt Ruby wasn't the same. Don't touch none at the
Right,
house.
don't touch it.
Don't sit on the couch. But in her grandfather, she could explore more,
Exactly. But it's just those different personalities that shaped her into that woman, and just having all those different people to shape that and just say that you can touch this here and here you can't, but this is what I want you to build on. But each person I said character, but each person in her life allowed her to explore those different things. And that's still that skills that you have to have. And even with your own children, what are you preparing them for? How are you um, letting them hone in on their skills? Like you said, with the parents, they didn't mind her being respectfully challenging with Aunt Ruby. And it's important to allow your children to have a voice, because if you take away your child's voice, then they don't know how to speak. We have so much, chaotic stuff going on in our life right now. If we don't have children that are able to speak up for themselves in some type of way, even with Daniel being on the autism spectrum, I think about how he's going to be able to speak up for himself. He doesn't have to have words like everybody else to speak up for himself. It's all in the actions. Your actions speak for your words. Your actions speak louder than your words. And even with Michelle Obama, she has the wording, but her actions as a woman, as a author, as a black powerful African American queen, her actions around that, just how she has allowed herself to and position herself in a way to arise above the things that people have said about her. I mean, that's
And that's
just
what I'm looking forward to hearing those parts there, things where we don't get to see or we didn't get to hear, or how she's affected by people commenting or being rude to her and her husband or the family. We can now really get, an inside view on, what she went through and how she
right.
handled it. Because I love this quote. I gotta find the exact word to basically go high, reach higher. When people are acting a fool, then you reach higher.
Right.
We got to find that quote. Hopefully she'll say that in the book. Has she said it yet?
I think she says that later with her sister circle group. Well, not sister circle. She only has. I think she only talks about one best friend. I think that's when she talks about that best friend. But yeah, because reaching higher when people try to pull you down is one of her. Sorry, something is going on in the back of my house. I don't know what's going on. But but reaching higher when others are trying to pull you down, that's always an important sister circle thing anyway. That's if you don't have people around you, you want people around you that are challenging you, but you don't want anybody challenging you to take you out of yourself and what God has positioned you to be, the person that God has positioned you to be. You don't want anybody taking you from that. God doesn't want a spiritual creature going down to put themselves into a different level with a new devil. He wants you to elevate yourself, and that's one thing that she does talk about throughout this book. So I can't wait to dive into the deeper chapters, especially when she starts talking about her best friend and things that go on with her best friend. But yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to talk about too much. Just to the ones that haven't started the book yet.
So how we're gonna talk about 2 chapters at a time, 3 chapters. How we're gonna do the chapters?
Look, whatever you comfortable with, because I finished twice, and I'm reading it again because I like to read through. I do twice with Audible, and then I go. I'm weird. I have to study that way. I study that way too. I listen and then I read through. So that's how I study. So you let me know what you feel comfortable.
I'm one of those one and done.
With this kind of book, I don't know. It's
I do
different.
that with movies too.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I'm like that with movies.
I know once I watch a good movie, like even with what's the one you had me watching on Netflix that I love? The Madam C.J. Walker.
Madam C.J.
Yeah, I mean I loved that whole series, but I wouldn't go back and watch it again. Like that wouldn't be a series that I watch again. But I love watching it and experiencing it.
Right. There are some movies that I do watch over and over again. And there's some I don't never need to. Like the Madam CJ, I don't need to watch it over again. But the Purple, I've seen it over 20 or 30 times. And when I was single and no kids, when I was single and no kids in my 20s, late 20s, I would every Sunday put it in my DVD and sit there and watch it every Sunday and would cry at the same parts. So there are very few movies that I can do that with. The Titanic, it's a 3 or 4 hour movie. I will sit and I've watched it several times and will cry at the same parts.
Several Lifetime movies that I'll do that with too. So I'm like, yeah. But
and then there's some you just never have to see again.
That's true. Yeah, some you're done with. One, like you said, one and done. I'm happy I saw that. That's over. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can do it. 2 more chapters. I think that I don't want to take this book. 2 or 3. We can do 3, so we can go to 5. Let's go to 5.
Okay. So go to 5 next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're not that they're bad to read.
Now I have a question.
Go ahead.
So you said, it would really be a shame if a person doesn't have those type of people in their life to hold up a mirror to you. My question is, what if those people are in your life and you're the type of person that refuses to look in the mirror, or everything? everything this other person or these other people are doing, they're wrong and you're right, or they're crazy and you're doing what you want to do. Like, I have a question about that. When there are people there to hold a mirror up to you, but you refuse to look in it and you're always pointing your finger at them and not yourself. You're not taking investigation or look at what's going on in your life for you not to be able to look in the mirror.
I like that question. I think that that's a question that we should put on the podcast and see what people say too. But for me, yeah, that was one of my issues years ago. I had that mirror up, and that's even with me being an AK, that mirror is deep, deep to us. So if you're talking about a mirror that someone's allowing you to hold up and reflection for yourself, and you're not getting it. So yeah, anytime that someone's showing you a mirror and that you're not getting it, that means you're not ready to embrace with that person. So that means you need to grow up a little bit. So I know in my life, I can definitely say I've grown up a lot. Just so I can look in the mirror. That's a deep reflection. And even when I was pledging, I didn't realize how deep that was for somebody to hold that mirror up and say, "This is, this is for you." But that is a huge thing. As a sister circle, I'm embracing that now. Just that love. First of all, somebody has to love you to hold up a mirror for you. That's the first thing. You can't just hold up a mirror for somebody you don't like, because that's not going to work. But you love somebody and you're holding that mirror up and you're embracing them. You're challenging them to look in that mirror. So someone could, they have the option to turn away from your mirror. But if they love you, they're going to turn back in that mirror and they're going to reflect back to what you're saying. They're going to listen to you. They're going to embrace you. But it's all about them first loving themselves, first knowing that they love, first knowing how your love for you is something in their life that they're willing to embrace. And that's another thing. That's one thing we're always talking about, just different levels. Different levels of different things. How we even talked about Michelle Obama and how she's on one level and people around her might have been pulling her to be able to be to that level. But it's all about being that woman that's strong enough to accept what other people are saying and how to either embrace it or overlook it or succumb or over, just pass over. It's all about how you are on what level that you're on, that person is going to embrace you. But again, I hope that whoever gets a chance to listen to this, that they can, put their actions and their responses to that question. But that's a deep question. I love that question.
Yeah, that's something I'm investigating now. With some things that I'm going through. Being in circles where some people are not willing to look into the mirror, and it causes a roadblock.
And when you say roadblock, what do you mean?
Where it's hard to move forward because the other party is not willing to look in that mirror and investigate the deeper things going on. So there's a roadblock because now we have to stay on the surface, like we're not really telling the truth here. So when you're ready to tell the truth, then we can have a more meaningful conversation.
Yeah. But again, that person has to be willing and ready for what you're saying. Because I remember, it's so many people in my life that, I knew I was growing and I knew I was turning, moving into a different direction. And I really wanted to pull them with me, but they wasn't ready. And I knew they loved me, but they were not ready. But they loved the old me too. They were not ready to embrace the new me and, accept me for the person that God was pulling me for his purpose to be. And with that, and I'm not saying I let anybody go, but if they weren't on the path that I was going on, I just kind of separated myself into a different direction. Not me just dismissing them out of my life, but again, I'm traveling north, and if you're staying right there in that middle, if I'm traveling, then I'm not telling you you can't follow me, but I'm saying, I'm going this way, and you have the option. But I'm again, for that, I stopped trying to prove people that were not willing to go in the same direction that I was, because that's, to me, that's just a waste of your time and effort. And it's not that, because some people are just not on the same level, and they want to be on a different level. They want to be challenged.
Yeah.
And then you have other people that just, especially the ones in your close circle that know you. Well, I knew you back when you did so and so. Well, that's good, but that's not who I am now, and I'm changing into so and so that God wants me to be. And I can't go back to that. And I think it's important to know, like, when we grow up, and that's the whole thing. When you grow up, still talking about Michelle Obama. When you grow up, how do you want to look to others? What is the purpose that you are trying to place onto other women? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you just trying to enlighten this one person, or is your goal to enlighten several? What how much energy are you willing to put towards just one person, versus how many people do you really want to embrace you and embrace who you really are? So it's all about that, the energy. What are you willing to sacrifice for the greater good to me?
Yeah. So, like, the way that I see that is, I'm not going to force anyone to drink the same tea that I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Either we're going to drink the tea together, or we're not, and I'm not going to force you to do that. So, we'll just, meet up of the minds, when it's working out. We'll meet up and have a like agreement of the minds, when it's working out. When it's not, have our nice, hey, how's it going? Love you, see you later.
Right.
And you keep it moving. You're running your race, and I've got to run my race. And right, either it could probably really be a marathon, though. It's really a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, the first one to the finish line, but we all have our own marathons that we're running. And we can run together, or we can run separate.
I like that. That's the perfect analogy, because when you're running a race, everybody is not running with you. Some people are running past you. Some people running way behind you, and just very few people might be running right shoulder to shoulder with you. But those people running shoulder to shoulder with you at that time, those are the ones that keep you moving and keep you elevated, keep you going. Especially the ones that are in front of you, because you're all trying to reach to that level. But once you get to, that finish line, you can actually see, okay, this is where I was, trying to get to all this time. So that's the perfect, especially when you're thinking about other people that might have been behind you all that time, and you're finally running through those people. So it's different. And it is a challenge as a woman.
Yeah, it is.
I thought I heard the door open. My door open. Who is? Yeah. It's normally if it's Daniel and he hadn't wanted to put on clothes. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure the world is ready for just naked Daniel running through the backyard. But
the world.
But yeah, I am gonna go ahead and wrap up, because I know our time is limited, but I'm blessed that any time that we can talk and get together.
Yeah, always. All lessons always learned. A couple of lessons.
For sure.
Mid-speech.
So my biggest takeaway today on this book is, who is Michelle Robinson?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people say that name, I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
But everybody know who Michelle Obama is. But when you say Michelle Robinson, like, who? But that's just funny how one word can define your name, and just and how one event can define your name and who you are in life. Because will we really? I don't know if we would embrace her the way that we would if we didn't know about Obama at the last part of her name. Mm-hmm. And she's just as powerful as Robinson and Obama. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we have known her as a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Would she have been in the spotlight as a lawyer or the person who ran the nonprofit? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Would we have even known that would she have been in the spotlight like that? For us to even know, there's plenty of Michelle Obamas or plenty of Michelle Robinsons that we do not know, that we don't know. So it is about, claiming who you are, and if you're lucky enough to be on a platform, then that's how people get to know or be able to be influenced by who you are.
Exactly. Being on the right platform, like you said, moving your own race, moving in the spirit that God is allowing you to, allows you to get to the right place and position yourself, to elevate yourself to be in that next level. So that's my takeaway for today. Are you going to be a Michelle Robinson? Are you going to be a Michelle Obama? So I'm going to end it on that note, unless my sis had anything else to say.
Because we can tell a whole bunch more stories.
All right, and if not, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. And I thank you all for tuning in to Purposely Planned Life Cafe with my best friend Anna today, talking about becoming and talking about a few issues sparking off from becoming as well. So I love you all and hope you all have a blessed day.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.